No, I'm sorry. I'm a walking jump scare. No, honestly, I am just way too comfortable on the internet at this point. I blame you guys. I look unwell. Like, can you even see me? I'm blending into that wall. Today is self-tan day, baby. Okay, and when I tell you this day comes around way too quick though, although it's the best kind of day because waking up with a fresh tan, there is nothing better. Tan to me is like my comfort blanket, guys. Like, I was gonna be dramatic and say I don't feel like myself without it, but I just feel like I'm not my best self. Tan to me is like second skin. I've been doing it for so long now. It's like jewelry to me. If I don't have it on, I feel a bit naked. I feel a bit vulnerable, and that's how I feel right now. So cheers to that. This is my tanning routine, guys. Last year, I actually ended up trying a few new tans, which is something I don't do often because, I mean, why fix something if it's not broke, right? I just kind of wanted to experiment a little bit more, which is scary with tan because if it goes tits up, I've ruined my skin for the week. But at the same time, sometimes it can get a little bit boring. And then imagine if like you used a tan on the odd occasion, it was like my favorite tan in the entire world. I don't want to be missing out on that. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, my routine's the same. Every single week that I tan, this is the same routine that I do. This is the same skin prep, everything like that. I will share with you kind of the tans that I go between. Oh. Did that just spill? If you've ever looked at me and thought, wow, her tan actually looks pretty good. Or if you're somebody that kind of struggles with tan and doesn't really know where to start or what to do, I hope this routine is somewhat helpful. Let's start the new year with a fresh tanning routine and let's feel like our best self, ladies. As you may or may not be able to tell from the cup of tea and the light shining from outside. Shining, I live in the UK, Jordan. What? It's pissing it down. My tanning routine always starts in the evening. I'm the kind of girl that sleeps in her tan. I find it to be A, the most comfortable, and B, I just feel like I get the best results. I'm just filming during the day for filming purposes, guys. Imagine, it's the evening, okay? I have old tan on. I definitely don't right now. I'm as pale as a Casper. I typically tan on Thursday night or Friday night. Today is Friday night. That way I have fresh tan for the weekend, just in case any plans kind of creep up over the weekend or whatever. And for content, I'm just always ready. I'm running my nice hot bath. I always scrub off my tan in the bath, not the shower. I like my skin to soak, especially if you're using a tan that's quite, I say like sticky, you know, the ones that like grip onto your skin, they don't want to let go. A bath will really help to kind of loosen up that tan on the skin and make it easier for you to scrub it off. I sit there and I soak in that bath for a good hour or so. Yes, you're going to come out of this bath wrinkly as fuck, but trust me, it's worth it. Before I scrub, before I do anything like that, I shave every nook and cranny. Shaving, I also feel like is a form of exfoliation. So when I am shaving by that point, because my skin's already soaked off, I feel like I actually end up shaving some of the tan off, making it easier when I scrub. At the moment, I have a men's razor. I kind of flip between everything. I've had Estrid before, they're really good. The only ones I don't use are the like disposable ones because I just feel like they kind of rip my skin apart. For some reason, especially on my legs, I've got really sensitive skin. I'm really prone to like strawberry legs, razor rashes. I need something that's gentle, but like I've got coarse hair at the same time. So I need something that's gonna like through my skin, but look after my skin. Does that make sense? This is just a Gillette men's one that I have at the moment. And I have a bunch of fresh heads. I always make sure that I have them at the ready because there's nothing worse than a blunt razor. Anyway, shave, cool. This little guy is the best thing. This scrubs your tan off like nothing else I have ever tried. Trust me, I've used exfoliating gloves. Cheaper ones, more expensive ones. The Love and Tan exfoliating mitt, when I tell you this is the best, this is the best. You have a pink side and a black side. The pink side is kind of less abrasive than the black. I typically always use the pink side, but the black is good for those really stubborn areas. This mitt as well lasts ages. I rarely buy a new one of these, and all that I do is just in circular motions start working that tan off of my skin. Here's a clip of what the tan starts to look like at this point. Kind of beads off. It kind of looks a bit gross, but because we've soaked the skin, it should start to come off quite nicely. It will depend on what tan you use though. The ones I use, the main reason I like them is because they come off nicely and I don't go tiger bread or anything like that. I'll speak about it in a second. For me, it always ends up melting off easily and I don't really have any troubles, especially with this mitt, because trust me, too many times, like in the past, especially in the beginning when I was kind of learning about routines and different products for tanning and stuff like that, I would genuinely scrub my skin off. I remember on this area here, I used to get like burns from where I'd scrubbed my skin too hard. It was horrible. Trust me, patience, a nice hot bath in this mitt, you'll be good to go. Oh, and I don't use soap. I don't use anything. Wring it out and then scrub the skin. Almost just having a tiny bit of moisture lubricates it up a little bit to get it moving. But the less you have on there, the better, because then it's kind of like skin versus this, if you know what I mean. There's no product in the middle to kind of get in the way. One last thing before I get out of the bath, I blast myself with cold water. Closes up the pores. You'll get the best tan result. How I look now, this is the stage that we're at. Call me crazy, but I don't moisturize my skin. I don't let my skin breathe for 24 hours before putting on tan like you might read online. All I do is make sure I'm fully dry and I kind of let my skin breathe for 15-20 minutes and then I put the tan on. You know, when I start my routine, I want to get it finished. If on the odd occasion I do moisturize, I will just leave it down to my elbows, my feet, my hands. I would never moisturize my whole body just because I feel like the tan almost doesn't absorb into the skin as well. If of course though you have really dry dry skin patches or really, really dry skin, then moisturize, but just obviously leave a decent time in between moisturizing and tanning. At the moment, this has been my choice of tan. This is the Pretty and Bronzed Self Tan Mousse. This is the cherry scented dark mousse. This is what it looks like. If I can tag it on YouTube, because YouTube's got this new shopping system, which is cool, then I will. But yeah, this tan is amazing. First thing about this tan is it smells incredible. I'm pretty sure she also has melon scented and another scent. My favorite's cherry. I find it to be the strongest. Once the tan starts to develop, obviously that scent does move away, but it's just nice to have it in the beginning. That's my new one. I need this one. Hello. So, see the colour of that mousse? This is another reason why I love this tan. You can get tans that are more green based, more red based. This one's really neutral. The colour that it leaves my skin is just beautiful. Let me just show you. 3 or 4 pumps for each kind of section. One section is my arm. Really work that in circular motions. Because now, once that's kind of blended in, I then can go around my wrist with whatever's left on the mitts. These are places you don't want too much build up, otherwise the tan just ends up looking dodgy. Another tip, don't forget to like bend. That way you can get in all like the crevices and stuff. This tan as well doesn't leave you feeling really sticky after. I also really love Molly May's tan, Molly May filter. Pretty and Bronzed and Molly May, they're the 2 tans that come off really easily and I find they fade nicely. My skin doesn't go tiger bready or anything like that. They just kind of like fade away, if that makes sense. Cheers. By the way, don't be alarmed that this tan doesn't look that dark. This tan is a grower, not a shower. It has guide colour, but it's not super in your face. Like some guide colours are really dark. Don't be fooled by this. The tan comes out beautiful. Back of the ears. Whatever's left on the mitt is how I'll do my armpits. I will say Love and Tan as well is one of my all-time favourites too. That probably gives me the richest colour. A little bit harder to get off the skin though. But when say I have like an event or a special occasion, I love that tan because it just makes me so bronzed. Like I said, depending on the week and what I've got planned and stuff, I'll switch it out. But this is my like every week kind of tan. If I stand on here, can you see a bit better? Another section is my tummy. Honestly, this tan smells so good. I kind of want to eat it. Kind of smells like a cherry bakewell tart. Application is the same all over, apart from when it comes to my hands, my feet and my face. Circular motions, just buff it in. My knee, I just use whatever's left on the mitt. I like to make sure I put a nice generous layer on as well, by the way. Don't be kind of shy with it. The colour difference between my legs. Yeah, tanning the hands. I think this is quite a scary place for a lot of people because this is a very obvious place. If you fuck it up, like it's very, very obvious. Like you can't hide that, you know? I've tanned my body with the mitt, so there is excess on here. I just take like a small, tiny amount like this. Blend that onto your arm. So there is sort of fresh tan on there, but now I've sort of given the arm the majority. And then I go onto the hand and then I go in between each finger. Then I do every finger, right? And every finger I do, I'm like a claw. We don't want to see kind of white lines in the knuckles. So if you do a claw and I kind of like grip round each finger like this, we get on top, we get the sides like this, kind of dust over everything. Right now you can't tell, what you can see is the guide colour, but you can see kind of the colour everywhere looks even. I don't have any super dark patches anywhere. Don't forget to check your palms to make sure you've not got any tan kind of lingering around here. If I do, see that little bit of tan? So now that'd be nice and even. You don't want your hand to feel wet. It just feels a bit cold. We just want a little something, so you just want it to feel like a bit cold, a little bit damp. There is one part though, which is always a struggle when you're tanning. If you don't have a boyfriend, girlfriend, or someone of assistance, or you're not a contortionist, this hanger right here might come in handy. Now there are tanning back applicators that you can get. I'm pretty sure Love and Tan do one, Velvet Tan do one, stuff like that. This is a little DIY one for you. So a hanger, grab your mitt, where's mine? Here it is. Put the hanger into the mitt like this. Almost forgot, grab a hairband. Do this before putting the tan on. Hairband is just at the bottom, kind of holding the mitt on. Your very own back turner, around like this, and there we go. Last place to tan is the face. I absolutely love this. It's the U-Tan Jamie Genevieve spritz for the skin. I never ever ever apply the mousse I use for my body on my face. It's just too drying, and if you're breaking out like I am right now, I'm on my period and my skin's going fucking crazy, it will just stick to everything and it actually makes your skin look worse. I prefer something with hydration. That way it's going to tan my skin at the same time, but provide that hydration to avoid the dryness and that happening. This spray is incredible. All I do is I literally just spritz all over the skin like this, quite a few spritz, and then I just go about my biz. I don't blend it in, nothing. Quick, it's easy, it's delightful. However, today I actually have something new to try and I might try it with you guys. Is that risky? Hold on. Superdrug have their own tanning range and I thought we would try this self-tan lotion out. I have dark here, that is the same shade as my tan. Face and body, long lasting with pineapple extract. For best results, exfoliate before use, which I did do. I treat my face like I do my body. I don't like scrubbing it with the Love and Tan mitt, I just use an exfoliator just to keep that clear. Wash off after 1 to 4 hours. This brush, love this for face tanning. It's the Trigwell Cosmetics T03. It's just like a big fluffy brush. Oh, this smells delicious. Oh, that smells kind of like, is that vanilla-y? Caramelly almost. I can't describe that. It smells lovely. It's looking good. It doesn't feel kind of too greasy or heavy, which I like. Last step, I'm going to change into some silk long PJs. Even when I sleep with like head to toe coverage, guys. A, it stops things getting on the sheets too much, or as much, should I say. And B, I find that it kind of like encapsulates the tan, and I feel like a little oven. I feel like I'm cooking. Do you know what I mean? And I don't wear underwear, then I don't get limes. One thing I will say though, I always leave my tan on for 8 hours plus. Never under 8 hours. If I can get like 10 hours in, even 12 hours, amazing. The longer the better, but as long as it's on for 8 hours at least, I'm happy. I'll be back this evening when this is fully developed, and then we can shower it off and see the results. Good morning, guys. It is actually the following day. So I tanned during the day. Late that evening, I washed the tan off. And then the following day, I had somewhere to be, so it's the day after that. I mean, as we can see, I'm bronzed. I'll show you properly in a second. I know it's kind of hard. It's kind of awkward because it's 8 o'clock in the morning. And when I tell you it's so gloomy outside, it looks like the middle of the night. Just so smooth on my skin. Like the hands are not patchy. Nowhere on the skin is looking patchy and horrible at all. Here's the back. I just love it. I feel like it just looks really natural, like very sun-kissed, very bronzy. And that's how I like to look 24/7. Just switched over to my phone so you can see everything, hopefully. I just feel like the colour of this tan as well is just perfect. It's like the perfect in between. Not too olivey green, not too red. It's just, oh, it's just perfect. And it literally applies like butter. Look how even it is on my skin, you know? So good. The Superdrug face tan has actually changed my life. This is what it looks like on the skin. Look how amazing this is. It hasn't clung to any of like, I mean, I've got breakouts and stuff, but it's not clung to that. Look how bronzed and tan it looks. Like my face actually matches my body. Skin doesn't feel dry, nothing like that. This is my new favorite thing to put on my face. Run for that 100%, guys. That's pretty much my tan routine. Although if I can keep up with it, I will apply the Pretty and Bronze gradual tan kind of every other day just to keep the tan looking nice and like perky. Especially in the winter months, I do try to moisturize my skin every day as well to kind of keep the tan nice and moisturized and stop it kind of going crusty earlier. Not that this tan really goes crusty, but I try to do like moisturizing, gradual tan, moisturizing, moisturizing, gradual tan, moisturizing. Here you go. This is what the Pretty and Bronzed gradual tan looks like. This does not feel sticky in the slightest, guys. I hate it when it feels thick and sticky. This does not feel like that, I can promise you. Nice even layer of this. I literally just use my hands because I find if I use a mitt, it just soaks up all the products. So I just use my hands, then I'll wash my hands thoroughly after. That's how I'll keep on top of the tan, and then in a week, it's time to repeat. They're the products I use. Hopefully it was helpful. I'm gonna bounce and get ready for the day. I was actually gonna come on here when I was ready to show you, but then you couldn't see the face tan, so I thought, you need to do it fast, Jordan. When I washed my tan off, I didn't wash my hair, hence the wig. I'm hiding a lot under here. Hopefully you enjoyed, and let's be bronzed babes together.